Hi, and thanks to all of you for your continued support since our discussions were suspended over a week ago. The issue that I spoke about in the last short video has now been resolved, and so as of now, we resume our regular discussions about the diversity visa program. Last time, we discussed what to look forward to in case you are a DV 2023 applicant expecting to receive your interview notification. And we said in that video that in the next video, which is actually this video, we would discuss reasons why a lot of you have submitted your DS-260, your case numbers are current, but so far you have not yet received your interview notification. And so that is exactly what we have in today's discussion. Welcome as we resume our normal discussions. To begin, let me remind you of the conditions that your case has to officially meet in order for it to be scheduled for interview. We have seen that before. There are two of them, and both of them apply in the case of the DV 2023 program. The first condition that your case has to officially meet before that case can be scheduled for interview is that you must have submitted your DS-260. And so if you are watching this video and you have not yet submitted your DS-260, you cannot look forward to receiving your interview notification. First, submit your DS-260 and then you can expect to receive your interview notification. That's the first condition. But in addition to that, your case number also has to be current. When we say your case number is current, it means that your case number has to be below the number that is currently shown in the visa bulletin for your region or for your country in case you are from an exception country. Today is Wednesday, November 16th, and as of the time that I'm making this video, the current visa bulletin is the visa bulletin for the month of November. It was released over a month ago, and for more than a week now, we have been expecting the upcoming visa bulletin, which is the visa bulletin for the month of December. Now, the visa bulletin for the month of December could be released later today, but without doubt, sometime this week it will be released. But until that happens, the number that is shown in the current visa bulletin for the Africa region is 9,000. And so all cases that have case numbers below 9,000, that is from case number 1 to case number 8,999 in the Africa region, are current. Now that is with the exception of cases from the exception countries. And so if you are from an exception country, then you have to consult the visa bulletin for the number that applies to your specific country. In the case of Asia, the number is 3,300. And so if you are from Asia and you are not from any of the two exception countries and your case number is below 3,300, then it means that your case number is current. For Europe, the number is 6,100. So all cases from the Europe region, beginning at case number 1 to case number 6,099, with the exception of cases from the exception countries, are all current. In the case of North America, that number is 5. For Oceania, it is 400. And for the South America region, it is 575. And so if you are from any of those regions and you have a case number that is less than the case number that I just cited for your region, it means that your case number is current. And so that is the second condition for your case to be scheduled for interview officially. And as in the case of the DS-260, if you have a case number that is exactly the number that I just cited for your region, or a case number that is higher than that number, then it means that your case number is not yet current, and so you cannot expect to receive your interview notification. So those are the two conditions. the submission of the DS-260, and then your case number is below the number that is shown in the current visa bulletin for your region or for your country in case you are from an exception country. Now, because those are the two official conditions, scheduling of diversity visa interviews is generally misunderstood. Your case meeting these conditions does not mean that that case must immediately be scheduled for an interview. Instead, understand it this way. Say to yourself that when your case meets those conditions, your case is now among the cases that are eligible to be scheduled for interview. And so, with that, your case may immediately be scheduled for interview, but at the same time, it may not be scheduled immediately. Now, what are the reasons why some cases are not or may not be scheduled for interview immediately? One reason could be the processing of your DS-260. You may have submitted your DS-260, but in case your DS-260 has not yet been processed, then you cannot expect to receive your interview notification. There are different reasons why DS-260s may delay when it comes to processing. Let's take, for example, a case that has only one DS-260, that is only one applicant. That case or that DS-260 will obviously be processed faster than a case that has, say, 5 applicants, that is 5 DS-260. The history of the applicants that are in the case is another reason or another factor that may delay the processing of your DS-260. Take this example. 2 cases comprising 2 persons. The first case has a single mother who perhaps is only a high school graduate and who had her kid quite recently, and the second case comprises a couple who are well advanced into their career and perhaps who have traveled extensively. The first case, that is the one with the single mother and the recently born child, will definitely be processed faster than the case that has the couple. And that is because, as I said, the mother has never been to university, she has never worked before, perhaps she has never traveled a lot, and then the newly born child has never done any of such things. And so processing of their DS-260 is not going to take much of a time because there's not much information contained in their DS-260. Unlike the couple who have a more extensive history, they may have attended university, worked in several places, and even traveled to many different countries. And so because of the extent of the history of the applicants that are in the case, that case may take a longer time to process as compared to another case that has the same number of applicants. But when it comes to this first reason, that is the processing of your DS-260, it is not much of an issue because in case you suspect that the processing of your case may be the reason why your interview scheduling is delaying, you could simply write to KCC and then they are going to tell you the stage at which your DS-260 has been processed. Whether it has not yet been processed, whether it has been processed, they are going to let you know. But that still remains a reason why some of you who have submitted your DS-260 and whose case numbers are current have so far not yet received your interview notification. Another reason could be whether your embassy is currently conducting interview. On the 21st of last month, the Bureau of Consular Affairs posted on their official website that 4% of embassies and consulates are currently not conducting interviews. And so that is about 10 embassies and consulates. And so in case you are from one of those embassies or consulates that are not currently conducting interviews, then it means that even if you have submitted your DS-260, your DS-260 has been processed and your case number is current, you will still not be scheduled for interview. You will not receive your interview notification because in order for your interview to be conducted, Your embassy or consulate must be interviewing cases. Another reason could be the working status of your embassy. It is true that 96% of embassies and consulates are interviewing cases, but all are not interviewing cases at the same pace. Some are interviewing cases faster than others. And so if your case happens to be at an embassy where interviews are conducted slowly, that might affect the scheduling of your interview, because the slower interviews are conducted at a given embassy, the longer the waiting times are at that embassy. Still with embassies, but this time around it is about the number of applicants that are assigned at the embassy. Not all embassies have the same number of diversity visa applicants assigned to them. There are some embassies that have many applicants as compared to others. There are even embassies that are serving several countries in the region. And so in case you are assigned to one of such embassies, obviously your diversity visa interview will delay as compared to someone who is assigned at another embassy where applicants are not as many. There is also the issue of interviewing spaces. Each embassy and consulate has a certain number of interviews that they can accommodate during the month. And so in case the number of cases that are made current for interview by the visa bulletin exceeds the number of spaces that are available at a certain embassy, it means that that embassy will cater to the number of cases that it is able to accommodate for that month, and then the excess will have to wait for the following month or a subsequent month in order for them to be interviewed. And that is the current situation of some of you who are watching this video. And then there is also the issue of visa numbers. I guess you are aware that in order for cases to be scheduled for interview, a visa number has to be made available for each of them. But sometimes the visa bulletin makes cases current for interview, whereas there are no visa numbers available for them at the moment. And so in such a case, those cases will have to wait until a visa number is made available for each of them before they can be scheduled for interview. And so, is it normal that your case has met both of the conditions, but so far you have not yet received your interview notification? The answer is yes. Based on the reasons that I just provided you, it is normal. And so you see that in addition to the two official conditions that cases must meet in order for them to be scheduled for interview, there are other factors that come into play when it comes to the scheduling or interview, which we must take into consideration. And so there is no reason why you should be worried in case your case number is current and you have already submitted your DS-260, but you have not yet received your interview notification. There are two other reasons why you should not be worried. So let me share those reasons with you before we come to the end of this video. The first reason is because we are still early on in the program year. We are in the month of November, and the interviews that are coming up are for the month of January. So you have the month of January that you could be scheduled for interview. You could be scheduled in the month of February, in the month of March, before we even enter the second half of the program year. Had it been that we were close to the end of the program year, then you would have had a valid reason for being worried. But because we are still early on in the program year, there is no reason why you should be worried. Time is still in your favor. And the funny thing is that some of you said you are worried because you think that your case, your specific case, has a problem. Now let me reveal something to you. Generally, KCC does not have any problem with any case or any DS-260 that is submitted to them. Their work is to process the completed DS-260s that are submitted to them and forward the case to the embassy or consulate for interview. But just in case KCC has a problem with your case, which is very rare, they will contact you by means of email. And so once you have not received any email notification from KCC regarding a problem with your specific case, then it means that there is no problem, obviously. And so that's the second reason why you should not be worried in case you are expecting your interview notification. Those who will be worried are those who will be in your situation as we approach the end of the program year. So these are reasons why a lot of you have not yet received your interview notification, although your case has met the two official conditions. But as I said, consider it to be something normal. Which brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for watching it, and thanks to you guys once again for the support I received during the past several days. Indeed, I'm glad to be back to continue our regular discussions. Until the next one, God willing, which I believe will concern the upcoming visa bulletin. Goodbye.